You're listening to CFRN, the Christian Financial Radio Network.
Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back to the CFRN E-mini Futures Cast. This is the daily broadcast of Indeterminate Length, where we discuss all things E-mini, along with some really big ideas on the finer points of trading gold, bonds, crude, sugar, the euro. Joining us today, Mr. Michael Borth. From our trading desk in Chicago, Mr. Burton Schlichter. Now, to get things started, let's go to our host and founder in Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Here's Dwayne.
Good afternoon. Welcome back. Today is Wednesday. You thought it was Tuesday, but it's Wednesday. 27th day of December, 2023. Thanks so much for joining us. Whoever you are, wherever you are, we're just glad to have you right here, right now. This is our second live broadcast of the day. Our first live broadcast is our live training room. That broadcast, however, is reserved for our traders and those who are taking their 1 week free trial. If you've never taken your 1 week free trial, you can do so by going to mytradingiq.com. And at the top of the page is a link that says 5-day free trial. Click the link, complete the registration form correctly, please. And what will happen, we'll get your desktop set up, get your indicators indicating, and the following trading day is when your trial will officially start. Okay? I'm going to make sure you're all ready to go so that you can take advantage of the full 5-day trial. And don't worry about what day of the week or weekend you sign up for the trial, because you will get 5 consecutive trading days once we get you all set up, even if it stretches over a weekend. Now, when the live training room ends each day, we take a 30-minute break, and then we come back for the afternoon broadcast, this broadcast, which is open to the public. That's everybody everywhere on planet Earth with an internet-connected device. There's 2 different ways to join the afternoon broadcast live. The best way, you only have to do this once. Go to mytradingiq.com, scroll down to where it says afternoon broadcast. Click the link, complete the 30-second registration form, and you're done. You never have to do that again. Because what will happen is, going forward, every trading day, you'll get an email about an hour before this broadcast starts. So, at 12 noon Eastern, all you have to do is click the link in the email, and it will automatically log you into our platform. The benefit is you'll have access to the question box. This way you can ask questions and participate in the discussion. Of course, there'll be days when you're out of the office, away from the desktop, and you'd like to join live, but you can't. But you can. Yeah. And there'll be days when you're busy and you can't join live, but you would like to get caught up later. You can do that too. Talking about our YouTube channel, it's really easy to remember. youtube.com/CFRN. You already know the YouTube part, so just remember /CFRN. Not only do we broadcast live every trading day on our YouTube channel, but we also archive each and every daily broadcast. Currently, there are over 2,300 daily episodes archived for your educational and viewing pleasure. And if you're new to the world of CFRN, it's a great way to get to know who we really are. Not just today, not just this week, but thanks to YouTube, you can scroll back weeks, months, years. Of course, we don't expect you to listen to them all, but just pick some days at random. Listen in a little bit. You'll soon discover the thread of connectivity, the thread of continuity. It's woven through each and every daily broadcast. YouTube.com/CFRN. With that said, let's open with a word of prayer, our daily devotional. This is our last day on the topic, Grace for the Moment. Our scripture today is 2 Corinthians 5:21, and I'll be sharing it from the Message translation. How, you ask? In Christ. God put the wrong on him who never did anything wrong, so we could be put right with God. And that's 2 Corinthians 5:21. It wasn't spikes that held Jesus to the cross. What held him to that cross was his conviction that it was necessary that he become sin, that he who is pure becomes sin, and that the wrath of God be poured down, not upon the creation, but upon the Creator. When the one who knew no sin became sin for us, when the sinless one was covered with all the sins of the world, God didn't call his army of angels to save him. He didn't because he knew he would rather give up his son than give up on us. Regardless of what you've done, it's not too late. Regardless of how far you've fallen, it's not too late. Doesn't matter how low the mistake is, it's not too late to dig down, pull out that mistake, and then let it go and be free. What makes a Christian is not perfection, but forgiveness. Join me in a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, as we come before you today, our hearts are moved by the profound truth that we just read in 2 Corinthians. For our sake, he made him to be sin who knew no sin, so that in him we might become the righteousness of God. Lord, we stand in awe of the incredible exchange that took place through the sacrifice of your Son. Thank you, Lord, for the immeasurable love displayed in the work of the cross. Jesus, who knew no sin, bore our sins on the cross, that we might become the righteousness of God in him. We are grateful for this divine exchange where our guilt was replaced with the righteousness found only in Christ. As we reflect on this truth, may it deepen our understanding of your grace and love. Grant us the humility to receive the righteousness you offer and the gratitude to live as transformed and redeemed people. Lord, empower us to walk in the freedom of the righteousness we have in Christ. May our lives be a testimony to the transformative power of your love and grace. It's in Jesus' name we believe and pray. And everybody said, Amen. Amen. Well, happy Wednesday. Hope it is a happy Wednesday for you, wherever you are and wherever you are. Let me give you the numbers from around the world. We'll start here in the U.S. with the cash markets, or the indices as they're called. Currently the Dow's up 80 points. NASDAQ is up 8. S&P 500 is up almost 3. And the Russell 2000 is up almost 4. So pretty thin and quiet trade. In the commodity basket, crude oil down $1.23. Trading 74.34 last. That's a drop of over 1.5%. Gold up $21.80. Trading 20.9160 last. That's a gain of over 1%. Silver up 24 cents. Trading 24.64 last. That's a gain of almost 1%. Or $1,250 per contract trading. In the Asian markets, at the close, the Nikkei posted a gain of 375 points. It's a little over 1%. Shanghai rose 15. The Hang Seng gained 284, which is 1.75%. And in the European markets, at the close, FTSE up 27, the DAX up 35, the CAC up 3. So, that gave us a green day in Asia. It was a green day for the UK. And so far, it's a green Radio Wednesday here in the US of A. Hold on for me just 1 second. Okay, having a couple of technical issues here, but Hopefully that took care of it. All right, Logic 247. It's our 24/7, round-the-clock E-mini alert service. Except it's not just the E-minis. It's also crude, gold, silver, euro, bonds. We're currently in week 282. It's been 282 weeks since we launched Logic 247. And this recap is valid through 8 a.m. Eastern this morning. There have been some additional alerts issued since then. So Valerie will do another recap this afternoon, as she always does, and probably one this evening. But as of 8 a.m. this morning, and of course Monday we weren't here, Sunday night we weren't here, Monday night we were here. Since Monday night, when the markets opened at 6 p.m. Eastern, we've issued a total of 21 alerts, which 2 never triggered. Still waiting on 8, 11 actionable alerts, of which 1 or 9% would have been stopped out based on not risking more than $300 per contract per trade, less when possible based on market structure. A very simple process that we teach all of our passport holders in their unlimited one-on-one mentoring sessions. Doesn't mean you risk $300 on every trade. Some trades don't require that. Okay. Now you can use a fixed amount, just like Michael does in the live training room, or you can choose to learn how to use market structure. The choice is yours. Over the last 282 weeks, we've issued over 15,700 individual handcrafted alerts. And we've averaged 20% or less of the alerts being stopped out based on the risk profile I just explained. Now, the logic alerts are based on current price action, but there's time built in to each alert for you to get the alert, study the 30-minute chart, see the window of opportunity that the alert represents, and then be prepared to take action when price reaches the window of opportunity, using everything Michael teaches you every morning in the live training room. The goal here is not for you to just trade the alerts so you don't have to learn how to trade. That would be a horrible mistake. If your goal is to someday trade for a living, then that's not going to happen waiting on somebody else to tell you when to get in and when to get out. It'll always be a day late and probably more than a few dollars short. So the purpose of the alerts, both the logic and the concierge alerts, are designed to help you learn to spot these windows of opportunity yourself. And then for 2 hours and 15 minutes every trading day, Michael teaches you how to execute the trade, manage the trade, and exit the trade. So, good week so far. I think last week we ended up with 15% stop down. The average over the last 282 weeks has been less than 20%. Now, our original alert service, the concierge trade alerts, they are a little bit different. Different how? Well, in a couple ways. Number one, they don't come out around the clock. And they're based on historic price action. The CTAs are published shortly after the Globex Open each evening. So we all know this is the Wednesday session. The Wednesday session actually began last night at 6 p.m. Eastern. So 10 minutes into the open, I had all these targets published for all of our traders and everyone taking the trial. So when we go to the charts, just remember that all of our traders and everyone taking the trial had these targets 10 minutes after the market opened. So what do you do with these once they're published? We'll use the ES as an example. Go to your 30-minute chart and make a note to yourself where price is at the time the report is released. It'll always be between these two numbers. Then draw a line in the sand at the long target, line in the sand at the short target. Those will serve as great visual cues to help you stay on the right side of the street. If price gets above the 30-minute BBC, it's attempting to reach the long target. If price gets below the 30-minute BBC, it's attempting to reach the short target. It's pretty simple. You have to look left to spot potential obstacles, previous swing highs or swing lows, and learn how price behaves at a weekly trading zone. Why? Because price is always trying to reach a weekly trading zone. We've published the zones since December 14th of 2009. They come out Monday morning at 6:15 a.m. Eastern. Once they're published, they're carved in stone for the entire week. This week they didn't get published until Tuesday morning because Monday was a holiday. Anytime there's a Monday holiday, the zones come out Tuesday morning. But whether they come out Monday or Tuesday, once they're published, they're carved in stone for the entire week. Now with the logic alerts, I look left for you. That's why the logic alerts tend to have multiple targets. But you need to remember that price is always trying to reach a weekly zone. Price is above the 30-minute BBC, it's trying to reach the zone above. Price is below the 30-minute BBC, it's trying to reach the zone below. And again, we've published the zones every week since December 14th of 2009. Beyond that, you simply have to resist the urge to make it more complicated than that. As long as you know which way the wind is blowing, it's pretty simple to reach your goal for the day. Now, since this broadcast is open to the public, if you want to grab a screenshot, you can. If you're watching this after the fact on our YouTube channel, just hit pause on the video and jot down whatever numbers are important to you, because we'll cover each of these markets by the end of the broadcast. So we shall go to the daily chart, where we always start. And again, I'm going to have to ask you to hold on. Okay, the reason that we start out with the daily chart, I don't trade off the daily chart, but I go there to get important information. And you might not trade the ES. That's okay, no matter what you trade, whether it's a different futures market, an individual stock, a crypto, a forex pair, an ETF. You will learn to spend 2 minutes with the daily chart before you begin your trading session. You'll find that it changes your trading results tremendously. It helps you see where major support and resistance is. It helps you understand the big picture dynamic of the market. Okay. Now, if you're just looking at a 30-minute chart or a tick chart or range chart, you wouldn't know that we've got basically a triple top going on here. This was a high put in last Wednesday. There's Thursday, there's Friday, there's Tuesday, and here's today. Look at the size of that candle. This is the entire session. This is a market looking for direction. The bulls, the buyers, really no commitment. Just barely holding it up. Okay. Now the step line crossed blue and climbing days ago. So we know what we expect is a drop to the BBC. Overhead, we have resistance at the 50% fib extension, which is 48.40. Again, you wouldn't know that just looking at a 30-minute chart, tick chart, or range charts. And here's the biggest reason for looking at the daily chart for just a couple minutes. Institutional traders look at daily, weekly, and monthly charts the way you and I look at 30-minute charts, 5-minute charts, tick charts, and range charts. Why? It has to do with account size. They have accounts in the hundreds of millions, billions, even trillions of dollars. When they trade, price moves. When you and I trade, not so much. Okay? So by looking at the daily chart, you can get a pretty good idea what's happening. Okay? The forces that drive price, are they buying? Or are they just doing nothing? This is a market looking for a direction. Okay? Now, last Wednesday, we had a high at 48.30.75. Yesterday, we caught a high at 48.34.50. And our high today is just 48.30. So far today, we have a lower high. And do we need to adjust that upper line to embrace that little bit of wick of a couple points? Yeah, we do. It's a challenge on a daily chart. We'll see if we can do it. It's 48.34. $48.34.25. Okay, that's as close as we're going to get it on a daily chart. Yesterday's high was, we're one tick off. Perfect. So we're feeling the effect of that 50% fib extension. Retracements, as price drops, these are areas where you anticipate support based on 14th century math. It has nothing to do with politics or the economy. It's pure math. Okay. Fib extensions using the same 14th century math in a little different way, projects into the future where the market is likely to find resistance. Okay? As you can see, coming up 38, it took 1, 2, 3 days to close above. And now we've been trying for days to get to that 50% fib extension, and we haven't quite made it yet. We have potential support here at the step line, then at the low of last Wednesday, then the daily BBC, then the 24% fib extension. And if we drop through all of that, then we've got the 24% fib retracement. So you gather a lot of information once you learn to look at that daily chart for just a couple minutes before you begin your trading session. Make little notes of where major support, major resistance is, because that helps you to understand on your smaller time frame what price is trying to do. It turns what might appear to be chaos into something you can understand. It allows you to learn how to read the charts, to understand how price flows and why. Now the ES has been about as flat as you can get. Now these are this week's weekly trading zones. Our highest weekly zone on the ES is up at 49.20. But the ES hasn't even gotten out of bed yet today. We opened here last night. We came down. Now the zone is 20/21. The low of this candle was exactly 21. The market finds support, it will go look for resistance. So this resistance was defined here. This resistance was defined here. And again, then back to support. Whenever price drops to a zone, we expect support. When price rallies up to a zone, we expect resistance until proven otherwise. And today the ES is they call that a big fat nothing burger? Yeah. So it'll wake up when the institutions get back to work, which may not be till next Tuesday. We had a little bit of movement yesterday. Came right up to the zone, resistance. These are 30-minute candles. So 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours, 4 hours. And then we finally broke through the zone. Okay. Let's go to the Dow. Here's where we opened last night. Trapped between resistance overhead, support below. Price dropped to the weekly trading zone, which again we expect to be support until proven otherwise. So we got a little bump, not much, then back to support, back to support, back to support, back to support. And then right here, the opening candle on Wall Street, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. We dropped basically 37,820. Okay. Despite this low right here. But the market found support. Buyers came in. Buyers were willing to pay that price. So they drove us up, got us above the BBC, and we have the perfect stack. Price, step line, blue and climbing, BBC. Where do we go? Right to the target. The market finds resistance, which was defined yesterday, right here. See? Price is going to pull back and look for support, which it found at blue and climbing. And that sent it back up to the target again. Now the step line looks like it wants to cross to the right side of blue and climbing. That's an indication price is going to pull back to the BBC. If the pullback holds, and it holds more often than not, then we'll be looking for more long opportunities. If this pullback doesn't hold, and there's a little area of opportunity right down here, enough to get your goal for the day. It'd have to be something like 95. That's cutting it a little close. I might pass on that. Okay. If you want to take a shot at it, you can. I would wait for price to break this low right here. Get in at something like 37,813. Down to the target. And if it trades through the target, all the way to the zone. Okay. Russell. The vertical line, by the way, separates today from yesterday, from the previous day. Wednesday, Tuesday, since we weren't open Monday, this was Friday. But these zones are for this week. Okay. So what happened last night? We opened, trapped with resistance overhead, support below. Price just kind of walked the line until red and falling turned to blue and climbing. And because we're above the BBC, it's okay to go long. So this candle, as an example, opened at, we'll call it 2083. Ran up to 2087. Pulled back to support. Ran back to resistance at 2090. And then we dropped. We found support right where the market found support yesterday. Now we are in an untradeable area. At least that's my opinion. You could take a stab at 2088 to 2090, but I don't know that the risk is worth the risk. On the NQ, here's where we opened last night. Dropped to the zone and the BBC, support ×2. We got a little bit of a rally, enough to get your goal for the day. Back to support, back to resistance, back to support, back to resistance, red and falling, back to support at the zone. And then we made the run up to 17,124. So we were 4 ticks from the target. Okay. Then come back to support, back to support, back to support. And right now we're trying to break through that support, break through the zone. But you gotta let price get below this swing low. And then as you look left, you're going to see obstacle after obstacle. 17,032 is probably where I would consider potentially taking action. But there's just too much that can happen on the way down from where we are right now. Crude oil. Here's where we opened last night. We attempted higher, and we did move enough higher to get your goal for the day. Then price got below the BBC, blue and climbing, turned to red and falling, and we come right down to the zone. support. Support sends the market looking for resistance. Price pulls up to the BBC, we expect resistance. Price drops to the BBC, we expect support. So from support to resistance, we get this huge move down. This happened at 8 o'clock this morning, okay, where it came just shy of touching the target. Whenever you have a bullish cross that leads to an extended move, first time price revisits that area will almost always be good support. And it was. And we found resistance at the BBC. Now we're headed back down to the target again. We can take out that low right there. That low right there. I would wait for price to get below, at this point, get below the target. Something like 73.90 down to 73.80. That would give you your goal. Okay. Gold. Here's where we open. Last night, price pulled back to the BBC, consolidated for a while. Now, this one candle right here, just as an example, because you got all the conditions, price, step line, blue and climbing, BBC. This candle opened at 2078.6 and ran to 2080.8. 78.6. Basically $200 per contract traded in that one candle. Pull back to support. Get a leg and a retracement. The pullback holds. Pullback holds. And we hit the target. And then we move through the target all the way up to 2093. 2083 to 2093. That move right there is $1,000 per contract traded. But look at the step line. It's starting to hook right. And once that crosses blue and climbing, then price will most likely retrace back to the BBC. Silver, here's where we opened. Up to the zone, which we expect to be resistance until proven otherwise. Resistance will send the market looking for support. Now, you only need 2 pennies to get your goal for the day. So this candle opened at 24.37. Dropped 5 pennies to the target. It's $250 per contract traded. Now the zone is 2437/38. So support sent us to resistance. Resistance sent us to support. And then we broke through the zone. And where did we find support? At the next zone. And so where did that support send us? Back to resistance. Where did that resistance send us? Back to support. Where did that support send us? Looking for resistance. Where did it find it? At a zone. You'll notice the step line, the black line, is starting to hook right. Once it crosses, then we anticipate price pulling back to the BBC. Again, if the pullback holds, then we'll have long opportunities. If the pullback doesn't hold and gets below this bullish cross, back down into this area, then we'll have some short opportunities. The euro on fire. The one market. We opened right here at a zone, trap between resistance and support. Then we consolidated at the zone. Only 3 things happen at a zone: 70% of the time, it's going to be this consolidation. 20% of the time, rejection. 10% of the time, slice. So after consolidating, this was the London Open. Price made its way up to the target. It reached down to the BBC and found support. Remember, the pullback holds more often than not. And then that took us almost up to this week's highest weekly trading. Nope, we still got one more zone overhead up there. So see how the step line has already crossed on the euro? And look what's happening. And that step line crosses blue and climbing. Anticipate price retracing back to BBC. And the question becomes, will it hold or not? Michael should be here momentarily.
I am. I am here. I am here now. I just got here.
Okay.
Just got here.
All right.
Ready to go.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay, here I go. I think this is going to turn out to be easier now that I have the desktop version going.
Okay, good.
I think.
All right.
We'll see. So far, so good.
It looks good.
Good. All right. But then we're all back where we should be then. That's good. All right. It is Wednesday today, right? Yes, it is Wednesday, December 27th. Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Wednesday, the 27th day of December. Now, if you have not taken a free trial with us and you want to take a free trial with us, go here to mytradingiq.com and click on this thing right here. Okay. When you click on that, you'll be brought to this page, the registration page. Okay, on this page, all we ask for is your email, your name, your phone number, and your email. If you're using TradingView, you should give us a TradingView login ID or username. If you're using NinjaTrader, you should give us a machine ID so we can enable the indicator set for you. Okay. That is all you have to do to take the free trial, really. If you don't have any trading platform yet, you should go here to trading platforms. Go to mytradingiq.com and click on trading platforms. Right here, you will find the different trading platforms that we support. DT Pro is right here. Any version of the white label gain trader, I guess is what it's called, software works. But DT Pro is one that I use in the room in the morning for trading. And it is all straightened out now. We had like a week and a half where they were having trouble with the CME since they did their upgrade. They got it all straightened out. It seems like everything's working fine again. This is the TradingView platform. Just follow the instructions on this. Watch this video. Follow the instructions on that to sign up for the TradingView platform. And this is the NinjaTrader. You got to follow the instructions. So the NinjaTrader, you got to do this zip file right here. Download the zip file, then import the zip file. Do a NinjaScript add-on from your tools menu in NinjaTrader. Import it there, okay? And that will give you everything that you need for NinjaTrader. All right, well, it'll start you out, won't give you everything you need. There's a couple other things that we can throw in there, but it'll give you everything to start out with. All right, so recaps. We did manage to get the goal for the day today, but we didn't do much after we got the goal. Today it took a little while too. It took 43 minutes to get the goal. We didn't have anything happen in the first 15 minutes. The marks were just dead the first 15 minutes. But if you're going to read the spreadsheet, you have to read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom. Today we lost 4 ticks on the NQ. We made 2 ticks on the Russell. We made 8 ticks on the crude, and we made 4 ticks on the ES. That put us at plus 120 on the morning session. Today, it took 43 minutes and 8 trades to get to the goal for the day. At that point, we're up $1,320, so we took a total of 10 trades this morning. So on the month, we're up $4,995. That's over 17 trading days, averaging $293 per contract per 2-hour session. Now, our lowest month of the year is right here in July, 57.32. I don't know, we only got a couple days left. I hate to see December be the lowest month of the year. It's not usually, if you go back and look at prior years, December is not usually that bad. It's actually usually pretty good. I don't know, what was it last year? Last year was 13,212. So in the scheme of things, I guess that was the lowest month last year too. I didn't realize that. I thought we had a good month last year. But anyway, if you go back and look at all those years for the past 10 or 11 years, December was a rough month one year. I remember one month there was a lot of red in December, like 6 days. We hadn't had any red days all the way up to December. Then we had like 6 of them in December. But anyway, we are at $105,089 over 245 business days, averaging $428 per contract per 2-hour session on the year now. If you were to quit trading and you were to add 1 contract per month so far this year, you would have only had to work 93.8 hours and you would have averaged $2,407 per hour. Okay, and this number has to stay over 24,000. So I don't think we're going to go under 24,000 in the next couple of days. It has to stay over 24,000 to be at 13 contracts beginning on Tuesday next week. Okay, a ton of slippage right now. That's going to be, well, it'll be interesting. All right, so this right here is my regular browser, okay, that I normally use. But what we discovered is that I have to use the desktop version of TradingView if I'm going to do the live streaming that I normally do every day. So that's what this is right here. Now let me go here and connect on this, make sure that I got the live stream in the right place right now. So I have it ready to go in a few minutes here, in 5 minutes. Topic upcoming streams, I do not. So let me create that really quick. And then I'll get into the trades that I did and didn't do. We didn't have a ton of trades today, so it won't take too long to do that. Oops, I have to do this another way. This way. Okay, let me bring this over here and see if it works when I do it this way. No, it did not. Okay, so let me try this. Just go to a new window. There we go. All right, so let's just get into the trades. On the crude oil, we didn't have that many trades today. Let's see. We had 2 trades on the crude. And I will show you what they are here. Hang on. My screen just went blank. Okay, I'll show you what they are here in just a moment. This was the first trade right here. We ended up taking 1 tick on that one. This was in the pre-market. We didn't take that because it was going right down into the zone. We took this because it was coming out of the zone. I got 1 tick on that. Then we took this coming out of the zone on the other side, and we got 7 ticks on that. And that's what put us at +8 on the morning session. Okay. Hang on. This. Next. Schedule for later. 1300. And it's the stream record forever. And create stream. There we go. All right. That's interesting. Okay, that is ready to go. All right, so on the crude oil, that's all that we had. You see it was back and forth over the weekly trading zone the rest of the session this morning. Finally, toward the end of the session, right here at 11:30, it started to move, but we were done trading at that point. There were some nice trades right here. Now this morning, for those of you guys that were in the room this morning, I was telling you, remember when I took everything apart and I said, I only have 3 minutes left. I can't really go through all that. But when I took everything apart, I just had the leading edge of the ribbon and the trailing edge of the ribbon. And I said, it just needs to pull back and hit the ribbon when you come out of the overbought and not be on the other side of the black line. That's a valid trade all by itself. Before you get to this one where it came out of the overbought right there, that's a valid trade there. Right? And it just went sideways after that. So not a whole lot going on there at that point. The Russell, let's go back to the beginning here on the Russell. We had a few trades on the Russell this morning. Yeah, we didn't get any of these blue arrows in here. It was just bouncing around way too fast. What did we get on the Russell? All the way through here, we didn't do any. Here we go. We missed that one, and we got a break even on that and 2 ticks on this. We really didn't trade the Russell very much, it looks like. We had 2 ticks on that one, and we didn't get into this one. This was during the break. There was one nice blue arrow there during the break. And that was it for that one during the break. The ES, we only had 1 trade on the ES right here. And this is the whole day on the ES right here. The whole day. We had 1 trade on the ES, and it was on the 4-tick range. You know, we had no trades, no valid trades on the 7 range. This I had on a 4-tick range when I started out the morning. And so that was where we had one trade there on the ES this morning. And the NQ, we had the most trades of the morning on the NQ. Started out right here with a stop out on the very first trade on the NQ. We're minus 20 on that. Then we had a break even there. We got 4 back on that to put us at minus 16. Had a break even there, and then we got 12 back on that to get us to minus 4. And that was where we ended it with the NQ. We had one more break even trade right there. And I did training. I did a lot of training this morning. It felt like anyway. We missed a nice green arrow right there while I was training. A blue arrow right here coming out of the weekly trading zone would have stopped me out. So anything I gained on that green one, I would have given back on that blue one. This would have been a break-even trade there. This would have been, looks like a break-even trade right there, and just not a ton of activity today. I don't know what we're going to get here in the next session when we start the stream here right now, as a matter of fact. So let me hit the live stream start here. Okay, well, let me see what this message was first. If that was in here. You got to refresh, Dwayne, in the upcoming streams. I just created it, so refresh on that, and you'll see it because I'm hitting start stream on it right now. And it hasn't started yet. There, okay, the stream just started. So you got to hit refresh on your end because they just created the stream over there. Okay. I will type that over here in the other box because I don't know if you can hear me. Okay. Okay, well, it'll show up in a few minutes because it's actually started right now. It's been running for 30 seconds now. So it'll show up eventually. Okay, well, that's good. All right. So what I'm going to do here, guys, because we are not getting any trades on the 7-tick range or on the 15-tick range, I'm going to bump everything down to a smaller time frame. All right. So what that means on the crude oil, for instance, if you go here to mytradingiq.com and click on trade rules, right here, it's got a smaller time frame. You're going to have an 8-tick stop that trails to break even after 4 ticks in profit. Okay. So in here now, we're going to bump it down to a 4-tick range. I don't have a sensitivity setting created for that, but it's going to be smaller than this. Something probably like that. Let's see how that does. That's still a little too big. Let's try 0.003. That's a little better. Okay. So what we have here is a 4-tick range. So the stops are going to be 8 ticks now. They'll still go to break even after 4 ticks in profit, but the stop's going to be 8 ticks, and that's on the crude oil rate. All right, you still got to have a trend. You still got to have the outer bands showing you everything you need to see with the outer bands. I can do the same thing here. I'll do the same thing with all of them. Now we'll change this to a 4 range just to see what we get for trade setups. Sensitivity setting isn't so far off here on the Russell as it was with the crude. So we'll just make that 0.05. Oops. 0.05 like that. Okay. And on the ES, change that to a 4 range. And man, I can't see any of my DOMs right now. But we'll change that to a 4 range, and we'll see what we get with that. With the context, we're going to change that to 0.1, I think is what we came up with the other day. There we go. All right, so now we might get some trade setups. Those of you guys that are watching in the live stream, and anybody that's watching really. Now remember, the stop is only going to be 8 ticks on these things. So when I put the trade on, now, no, I don't have, I guess I do have a 4 range strategy. I'm not exactly sure what my 4 range strategy looks like, but let's go look at it. I have a 4 range strategy. It says, okay, it's got the wrong number of contracts, so we'll make that 12. The factor bracket. This is target. This profit target. We'll still make that a 30. The stop is 8. That one's disabled. Okay. So I'll save the change. We'll make this a 4-range strategy. Now we have the 4-range strategy on the gold. We're going to put it on the Russell and the ES. Also, I'll leave things alone on the NQ. But all these right now are about to set up a trade. All right, we need that up close right there on the Russell is a long trade. This is a long trade on the 4-range. You got the black arrow right there. Now the last black arrow worked out well. We'll get into leg lengths tomorrow in the room in the lesson plan. But for right now, this pullback is about the same as that pullback. So we'd end up looking for a leg length like this size right here from this move. Right here. Okay. Now this is going to be part of tomorrow's lesson plan. For those of you guys that are watching right now who were in there this morning, leg lengths is part of tomorrow's lesson plan. So this is what you would expect out of this move right here. Okay. Now the DOM is actually supporting that as well. Here it is a long trade. My stop is 8 ticks away this time. Well, it should be 8 ticks away this time. It goes to break even after 4 ticks in profit, still just like before. Oops, it was supposed to go to break even after 4 ticks in profit. I got some automated thing running on this that I'm going to have to work on. But it'll go to break even after 4 ticks in profit still. And so it's got to hit right here. When it hits there, I'll bump it to break even. There it goes. So we're going to break even on that. Now this should go up to 2090 right now. I'm going to lock in 2 ticks on this. It should go up right there to 2090. All right, I still have a 30-tick target on this, but I'm just going to throw that on right there for temporary target. Over here on the crude oil, we might also get a trade. We need an up close on that bar. Now again, this is a 4-tick range, so it's +5 from the bottom. It's going to be 49 up to 54 is what you'd be buying on that. Okay. So we get out of the Russell with a little bit of profit. That is getting up there to the prior swing high. That gap up right there. So we got a little bit of profit on that. And now we need this to pull back a little bit more. I'd like to see it pull back a little bit more. If it gives you no close here and it pulls it onto the oversold, we're going to have a black arrow long trade. I'm not really loving that one so much. I'd like to see it pull back just a little bit more. Over here on the ES, that we need to pull back also. All right, that this thing just gapped up twice. I don't know if any of you guys got into that Russell trade right there. That was a pretty nice trade. Whoop, it's still going too. It's hitting all the numbers. The next number is going to put a new high of the day in up at 94. 94 is the next number up. All the indices are starting to move right now. I could actually pump them all back down. There's 94. Okay, now the next number is going to go up to is 95, 95.0. We have a nice retracement here on this, so we'll get ready. We could have left that on the 7 range the way it's jumping around. Watch the crude oil, though. The crude oil is about to give a trade. Okay, the crude and up close off of this bar. It's 45 up to 50 right now on the crude. Okay, and there's another one on the Russell that's starting to run. There's the up close there on the crude. Now on the crude right here, we didn't come out of the oversold, so you don't have any kind of an arrow because we didn't come out of the oversold, but we did come off the ribbon and the black is in the green. So that's still a valid trade there on the crude. All right. The NQ, meanwhile, over here, it changed direction, so that's going to pull all the way back down and hit the ribbon to get a trade there. Okay, that's going to pull off all the way back down and bounce off the ribbon to get a trade. The crude is starting to move. Here is the crude starting to move. We need to bump the stop break even after 4 ticks in profit. That should make it up there to 64. Okay, now that stop should be 8 ticks away. 3, 1 more tick. Did it hit 55 yet? No, it didn't. It's going to go 1 more tick. Now we'll bump that stop to break even. Now, I haven't looked at the other things today, like Bitcoin and all that stuff. This has turned out to be entertaining. Oops, it did it all by itself. It did it all by itself. All right. I got to check out what that automated stop thing is. I'm not exactly sure what I have set for that. I do have, sorry, I took the long trade over here on the NQ, and that just gave us 36 in profit on the NQ. Right, the NQ gave us 36 in profit. We're still in the crude. I was in this, but I think I got to break even on it. I didn't bring it over and show you though. So this is bringing back memories. Trading on the 4 range like this is crazy. Everything's bouncing all over the place. Watch the Russell for an up close. Could have a blue arrow there on the Russell. No, it's not going to be a blue arrow. It'd be a green arrow. If we had an up close and pulled out of the oversold, it'd be a green arrow on the Russell right now. All right, so there's going to be nothing on the Russell. I'm going to end up with a break even over here on the crude, it looks like. Okay, crude got up to 55, so we got up to right there. There's the break even on the crude. All right, watch the NQ again here, guys. The NQ is going to give us a little something, I think, over there. And the crude did not put in a higher swing from this last move, so you don't have an trade here. All right. The Russell also did not put in a higher swing, so you don't have a follow-up trade here either. I'm sorry, the yes, not the Russell. The yes did put in a higher swing. All right, let me jump over here for a second. I haven't been looking in the live stream to see if anybody's asking any questions in there. I don't see any questions in the live stream right now. If anybody does come up with any questions or wants to see anything other than what we're trading in here, you just gotta let us know. Okay, just gotta let us know if you want to see any other symbols. Here, if I go to this, the NQ is taken off, guys. The NQ is taken off with the blue arrow right here. I'm going my stop at break even on that. Okay, lock in 12 ticks right there. I think that's 12. 12, and that's 12. Okay, so this is what the Bitcoin did. Okay, over the last couple of days, and I was saying yesterday that we're going to have to change these trend lines around a little bit. Now that they've closed outside them, we're going to have to change them around a little bit to look like this. Okay, so this is still in play. This level up here, and this is still in play too. It's just taking a little longer to get to it. Okay, for those of you guys that have been in the live stream for the last week or two, watching how this is unfolding, that's what that looks like. So the NQ is about to put in a higher swing. The Russell's got to get up above this level, that huge gap up right there. Now that makes me wonder if I were to go to this charting platform, did we get a gap up on this charting platform in the same place? This is a 7 range, and that gap would have been at 1306 right here. No, I don't see any gap in it. Oh, what it was you see all these bars right here that are all 1 bar. This 1 minute bar right here. That's what that is. All those bars 1 minute. That's what caused that gap. The NQ is about to give another long trade. It just did right there. The Russell's not, I'm sorry, the ES is not because it didn't put in a higher swing. The Russell did kind of put in a higher swing, I think, didn't it? Just a tick. It doesn't have a trade anyway. The last trade over here would have been okay, but the crude oil needs to put in a higher swing. Okay, sorry, crap, I took that NQ trade and my stops to break even on that again, and I'm gonna lock in. I think I'm gonna get all 30 on that, and I just did get all 30. So I'm counted on the NQ right now. I missed this. I missed this on the ES. That was a beautiful blue arrow trade right there. It needs to put in higher. Okay, all the indices are starting to take off. This is good. I think we're going to see Bitcoin start to take off too, probably. And the crude oil is the fourth leg on the stool. It's starting to crumble. Probably. We'll see. Let's see who's in here today. Randy S. Did you get all set up with everything you asked me about in an email yesterday? I'm pretty sure you did. All right, we did not put in a higher swing right here, so we don't have a follow-up trade. We did have a higher swing there, so if you didn't take any of these trades, you can take the trade that's about to come up here. Yes, Jake. All right, so we didn't put in a higher swing here on the ES, so we don't have anything that we can do with that. We did put in a higher swing here on the NQ, but this is not a valid trade. It's got to come out of the oversold to give us the trade. Right now, if it came out of the oversold, it would probably give us a blue arrow right now on the NQ. Now, maybe not. Now it'd be a green arrow. Maybe give us the up close right now. Maybe give us a green arrow. Now it might not give us any arrow. See if the black line gets into the red. then it's going to disqualify long trades. It could still happen though. We could still get a green arrow here. If this bar closes down, it's not going to. The other indices are all starting to drop. So wouldn't surprise me if it did drop. I mean, so nothing there, nothing there, and nothing here. We have nothing on all of these futures contracts right now. Jump back over here. I don't see anybody asking anything out here in the live stream. So if you have not taken a free trial with us, you're in the live stream, you haven't taken a free trial with us, to take a free trial, all you need to do is go here to mytradingiq.com and click this button right here. That'll sign you up for the free trial. You click that, it's going to bring you to this page. Here, whenever it loads, bring you to this page. Right, just fill out this form. Now, all we ask for is your name, your email, your phone number. Down here, if you're using TradingView, and you're in here right now, so you are using TradingView. If you're using TradingView, give us a TradingView login ID right here, so we can enable the indicator set for you. Give us your machine ID if you don't have, if you got that platform. But if you're using TradingView, give us your TradingView login ID right there. Okay. Again, go here to my.com, click on this button right here that says free 5-day training. There is no credit card required for the trial. No credit card required for the trial. Just sign up there. That's all you have to do. Okay. On the Russell right now, we have pulled back up and we have a shorting opportunity right there on the Russell. That is off the ribbon, the green arrow off the ribbon right there. Now what you would anticipate is that it's going to get down to here. All right, it's going to get all the way down to here. Now the entry point should be right here at 4.0. 4.0. Okay. And mine was not exactly at 4.0. I didn't get my stop to break even in time, but 4 ticks in profit will bump that stop to break even. I think it's actually set up to bump break even by itself. So once it hits 4 ticks in profit, it'll do something. I'm not exactly sure what, but we'll see. And we'll just have to adjust it from there. Okay. There it is. Okay, so we have 5 ticks in profit. It bumped it to break even. I'm going to lock in 3 ticks right there. 4 ticks, 5, 6 ticks. And that's 7. And I'm flat with 7 ticks. So let's see what that deal is. I don't know how I had that configured. If I go in here and I hit configure, trigger factor needs to move 4 ticks into profit to bump the stop 8 ticks. So my original stop, 12 contracts, profit target. My original stop is 8. No, who did that? But my original stop is 8 ticks. All right, so we're going sideways here on the crude. On the Russell, well, let's go over here for a second. Just check this out. Make sure that the live stream is still running. Looks like it is. Okay. No trade zone, no trade zone, no trade zone. And so we've had some really nice trades. Switching to the smaller time frame like this, we've been able to get into some really nice trades in this session. I was afraid it was going to be kind of slow and boring. I'll have to think about that tomorrow morning when I start up. You guys that are in here right now that are in there in the morning, if I happen to leave the charts like this, remind me in the morning. Maybe I will. I'll leave them like this, and then those first 15 minutes might not be so dry. What would have been like this morning in the first 15 minutes? Let's just look at the ES in the first 15. So those first 15 minutes are killing me now. from 9:15 to 9:30. Yeah, we would have had this nice blue arrow right here. Well, we took that blue arrow this morning. We were on a 4-tick range. That's right. We were on a 4-tick range this morning. So we took that. Russell. That's funny. The Russell. Let's see all the trades we would have had today. Virtual plethora. There you go. The first 15 minutes is what I was trying to look at here. From 9:15, would have had a blue arrow. We'd had to wait for the lower swing on that one, so we wouldn't have had anything in there. Really wouldn't have had anything here in the first 15 minutes with the Russell today. But you see all the other trades we would have had. The blue arrows and the green arrows. Wow. Lots of them. It's been a big day. Maybe tomorrow. In crude, which was all over the weekly trading zone today. Now, it doesn't matter what time frame you're in. If you're all over the weekly trading zone, you're all over the weekly trading zone. And we worked today. So if you go back and look at crude, the trades that we took on crude would have been in pretty much the same place, I think. First 15 minutes, we would have had the same blue arrow right here in the zone you can't take. This one right here, which would have given about the same thing, probably a break even. This one right here, we got 1 tick profit on, I think. That one we couldn't take. We'll see. Try it out tomorrow. All right. So what was the other thing we're looking at the other day? Do you remember doing? There was one thing the other day we were looking at. And we're saying to wait because it was at a point where it should pull back. It was yesterday, wasn't it? On the 30-minute chart, it was at a point where it should pull back down to the ribbon because the black step line had crossed. I don't remember what symbol that was. This is the point. The SPX and NDX are both doing the inverted head and shoulders right here. They're both at the neckline doing the inverted head shoulders. It was about to break the neckline up here. So they're both looking bullish, the SPX and the NDX, yesterday. And both looking exactly the same today. So I think the markets are set up to have a good run to close out the year in the next couple of days. That's what I'm thinking. Might not have to go to a smaller time frame to get some activity. We're just in the first 15 minutes. We'll see. It's 122, guys. 122. Now I'm going to put this back to Bitcoin. Daily. And now back in here, we're at no trade zone here, no trade zone there, no trade zone there. It's just a mess. Just a mess. I'm missing a DOM. It's this one. Sideways, sideways. Sideways, sideways. So on the Russell right now, the Russell and the crude oil are the only things about to give us a trade here. Now the crude is in a weekly trading zone, and the Russell is far away from the trading zone, a long ways away from the trading zone. So we might get a trade here on the Russell. where we're not going to have anything else anywhere else in the next 6 minutes, I don't think. Does anybody have any questions about anything? Anybody? Wow. Look at the crude oil go. It is a good afternoon, Terry. This is kind of like what I was thinking the whole week was going to be like. You know, tomorrow, I'm not sure what we have for news tomorrow. Let's check that out. So we have for news tomorrow. That was yesterday. This is today. Today we had Richmond Manufacturing Index. It was a huge miss, but no big deal. Tomorrow we have a couple of things. 8:30 we have unemployment claims coming out. Goods trade balance, pending wholesale inventories. And then at 10, pending home sales. 10:30 natural gas. And we also have crude coming out at 11 tomorrow. So we got a few things going on there. Is Bitcoin even tradable? That was a text message I just got. Bob Z, are you in here? No, he's not in here. So after a trend change here, we want it to come back and hit the ribbon. All right, it hasn't hit the ribbon on the crude. Same thing on the Russell. We want that to pull back up and hit the ribbon after the trend change. Okay. Like that right there. Look for the down close on that now. 5 ticks from the top. 31 down to 26 on the crude right now. There it is. And it's strangely still does not fill me there. Okay, now it just filled me in. It slipped me, but I'm short right here at 24. My stop is 8 ticks away. Okay, 8 ticks away on the crude. It should go down, put a new low of the day in. Should get down to right there at 74.15. That is part of tomorrow's lesson plan, guys. Reading the DOM is part of tomorrow's lesson plan. So we need 4 ticks in profit to bump this stop to break even. It'll do it by itself once it does it, I think. And over here on the Russell, it didn't hit the ribbon, so it didn't pull back deep enough for me to be interested in trading that right now. Yeah, I'm not going to take this black arrow. Leave it alone. How are the weekly trading zones calculated? Well, that is a mystery. Dwayne does weekly trading zones every Sunday night. Great. And he puts them out Monday morning. Right? That's all proprietary stuff. You do. You do. We're almost stopped out on this. And I think it's going to stop us out. Nope. Nope. Still got a chance. Not much. We got to be at the end of that key, right at the front of that key right now. But it's getting bigger. Now we're at the end of it. Okay, still got a chance here. All right, so on the Russell now we're bouncing off the ribbon on the Russell right now. So it's going to be 91.1 down to 90.6 on the Russell. So the Russell's got a chance for a short trade here too. And there we got a green arrow now over here. So they got a pretty good chance of working out now. And the Russell just triggered with a blue arrow. So I got the Russell. I didn't get a very good fill, but my stop already ran to break even somehow. That's all right. The automated bump to break even is not exactly flawless. That's why I hit the break even button there. Now it should be a break even. That's why I use a break even button all the time. This strategy that I put together for this 4 tick range. It's a little jumpy. All right, so the Russell, we want to see it get down below this level right here, below 89.9. Right here would be a nice spot for it to go to. Okay. Oh, look, the ES has even got something going. Or that's the NQ. Sorry, that's the NQ. I can't see the ES. The ES is behind here. The ES doesn't quite have anything going. We're out of the Russell. The NQ's got the green arrow right here. The ES doesn't have anything, and it won't have anything right now because we're not coming out of the overbought. The crude's about to stop us out this time. I should have had my stop and break even on that though. I wasn't watching. I should have definitely had my stop and break even on that. That was my fault. I should have had my stop and break even. Oh, sorry, I'm not even looking at the crude. I'm looking at the Russell. I did have my stop and break even on the Russell. Okay. I probably should have had a break even on crude too. Either way, I stopped out on the crude, but we made a ton of money on the NQ. And we had a break even there and nothing there. And that looks like it's going to be it, guys. We just hit the end of the session period, the end of the session time. So if you're watching in the live stream, if you're watching now or after the fact, to take a free trial with us, you go here to mytradingiq.com. And if you start the free trial right now, you get all set up for all next week, right? Be the rest of this week and the rest of next week. If you start the free trial right now, be ready to head into the new year, armed and ready to start making money. January, beginning of the year. Just go here to mytradingiq.com. Click on this right here. Start the free trial. You do that, you can be sent to this registration link right here, this registration page. Fill out this form. We don't ask for any credit card information. Just fill out the form, sign up for the trial. Okay, that's all you have to do. You do sign up for the trial, you should go here, make sure you have the trading platform set up. You want to have that trading platform set up at the beginning of the trial. Okay, at the beginning of the trial, it'd be great to have that trading platform set up. If you have any trouble with it at all, you can email us at support@cfrn.net or support@mytradingiq.com. Either one of those, and we'll get with you and help you set up that desktop or whatever it is that you have your platform on. Okay, we'll help you get it set up so you can start trading, learning, and using as soon as you start the trial. All right. And that's it. With that, we can pass it back out to fabulous Phoenix, Arizona, in Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Dwayne, if you are ready.
Yes, sir.
Excellent.
Okay, recap of the morning session.
This morning, it took 43 minutes and 8 trades to get to $1,320.
Good job.
Thank you. Okay, and I just ended the live stream.
All right, guys, we've already made it through all the markets. Let's go see if the ES is still as flat as it was. This is, of course, the daily, and we know what the market's trying to do. Ever so slowly, it's trying to get to that 50% fib extension. High of the day so far, 48.35, so it would need to go another 5 points to get there. Now, last Wednesday, the high was 48.30.75. So we haven't taken out Wednesday's high, 48.30.75. Today's high, 48.35. So we're still 3 ticks shy. And then we got the 50, we got the 62, we got the 100. Okay. Now we got kind of a triple top in place here. The step line is already crossed, blue and climbing. Now when that happens on the 30-minute chart, the response is usually pretty quick. On a daily chart, of course, it can take longer. Eventually, as price comes down, there's potential support at the step line, at 38% extension, this little double bottom right here, and then the VVC. And the ES, it did reach up and tag the long target, but it's pretty much still asleep at the wheel, all things considered. The Dow, not much has changed since we last looked at it, although we did hit the long target multiple times. Now, I show you guys this stuff every day, but I'm not encouraging you to trade the alerts and forego learning how to trade. The alerts are part of how you learn how to trade, because I give you these windows of opportunity in advance so that you can go study your 30-minute chart and watch everything materialize and happen as it did here and here. Okay, the more times you do that, whether it's a logic or CTA, the more times that you actually go to your 30-minute chart, highlight the window of opportunity, wait for price to get there, or in the case of the CTAs, where I let you look left yourself. See, it's a process. Go from logic, CTAs, before you know it, you're flying on your own. And that's our goal for you, is that you become self-sufficient. Promise you, if your goal is to trade for a living, it's never going to happen as long as you have to depend upon someone else to tell you when to get in and when to get out. And so our goal is to teach you how to become self-sufficient. You know, so many people, especially new traders, they get kind of confused because there's so much stuff out there. It's like, man, how can I ever learn all this stuff? And how do I know what's the right stuff and what's not the right stuff? And well, if that's you, come to the right place, because we're incredibly transparent. We do everything right in front of you. Trading in front of you to putting out the alerts well in advance of them triggering, so that you have the opportunity to study them, understand why it's an alert, understand why it's a window of opportunity, understand why targets are where they are. All these things, okay? Pretty soon, you'll find that you're taking trades before the alert's even published, or you're seeing the window of opportunity before the alert's even published, okay? And that's what we want. Now, once you get the hang of things and you're able to fly on your own, we're not asking you to leave the nest. No, we have a very vibrant trading community. Even people on a trial get to talk to our current traders in our discussion group, Telegram. And to whom much is given, much is required. So we encourage you to, once you get the hang of it, stick around. How about the new guy? You'll find that you'll get great, not only financial satisfaction, but great personal satisfaction helping the next new guy or lady that comes along. Russell, well, we banged up against the long target again. The Russell, you only need 2 points. The ES takes 2 points to get your goal for the day. The Dow takes 20 points to get your goal for the day. You'll see that the market found support at the zone and resistance at the zone. Yesterday, we found support at the zone and resistance at the zone, until after 1, 2, 3 30-minute candles, we finally managed to break through. And if we come over here, figure out why price stopped there. Nature abhors a vacuum, so do the markets. It's kind of like Legos in a way. But we won't go down that path today. So in Q, like it wants to hit that target again. What do we had? 1, 2. Now to get your goal for the day, you only need 5 points with the Russell, which in Michael's world would be 20 ticks. There's 4 ticks to a point. See how this one ran right to the target. Down to a halt. Backed up. It's going to make another run. If it can overcome these highs, well, we got a zone overhead. And that is the highest weekly zone this week for the NQ. Double check. Yep, sure enough is. And we still got 2 more trading days to get there. Now, for those that may be new, when we publish the zones at the beginning of the week, as I said earlier, they're carved in stone for the entire week. They don't change. But it's not a forecast that price is going to hit the highest zone or hit the lowest zone. It's like a playing field for the week. It tells you ahead of time where to expect resistance, where to expect support, where to expect resistance, where to expect support, expect support. Price can break up, expect resistance. Failure to do so, send us back down to this zone. First, this zone where we've had support the entire session. And if that low is broken, then price will attempt to get to this zone. Remember, price is always trying to get to a weekly trading zone. Crude, we covered it, but here it is again. And price is doing what? Consolidating at the weekly zone. 70% of the time, when price encounters a zone, you'll get consolidation. 20% of the time, rejection. See, this was a red candle all the way down. But by the time the 30-minute candle closed, price had been rejected from that zone. And then 10% of the time, the slice. That's when price slices through a zone like it's not even there on the 30-minute chart. And typically what will happen is when that slice runs out of steam, it will retrace back to the zone it sliced through and then continue in the direction of the slice. Silver, support at the zone, resistance at the zone, support at the zone. A slice that took us all the way up to the next zone. Now we've retraced to the zone. Question is will we continue in the direction of the slice? Do we hit our short target and then find support at the zone? Double bottom? Yep. Resistance? Double top? Yep. Yesterday? Resistance? Yep. Yesterday, support? Yep. Like I said, once you really get your arms around how price behaves at the zones, they will become one of the most important tools in your trading toolbox. Now, what happens here is going to be very important. We know that price always reverts to the mean. When it pulls up from below, we expect resistance. just like we got here, and here, and here. But we know eventually price will trade through. So with the help of blue and climbing, it traded through. Now, as it pulls down to the BBC, we expect support until proven otherwise. If price trades through the BBC, be cautious because you got a bullish cross right here. If the blue line gets above the green line, it's a great area for the market to find support. Now, that dynamic wasn't in place last night when these targets were issued. These targets were issued 10 minutes into the life of this first candle. This vertical line separates today, Wednesday, from Tuesday. And then there was no Monday, so way back over here is Friday, and that was not the zones at the time. But no matter what market you trade, no matter what time frame you use, clock on the wall is always price. So interestingly enough, this week's zones, if we go all the way back to Friday when these weren't even the zones, interesting, eh? Okay, so price is sitting right on top of the zone, which is BVC's just below. So it could find support here and turn back up. It could come on down to the zone, or to the BVC and find support. But this could be the case where it trades through. Only time will tell. See, we just looked at gold. I thought maybe it didn't. Consolidation, consolidation. Notice how each pullback to the BBC holds. We get this rip-roaring move. Yeah, we talked about it earlier. That's from the target. This candle that broke through the target. 2083 up to 2093. That's $1,000 per contract traded. For the 10 contract trader, that would be 10 grand. Just don't make the mistake of putting the cart before the horse. It's embarrassing for both the horse and the cart. What I'm saying is, when you get started, you start in demo. You might say, oh, I don't need to trade in demo. I've been trading for years. Okay. Well, if you've been trading for years and you're consistently profitable, why are you even here? So, got to put the ego on the back burner for a minute. Okay. Learn the strategy. Some people that will require humility. Okay. But do you want to trade for a living or not? It's worth putting your ego on the back burner long enough to learn something that's tried and proven over the years, many years. Okay. So, sharing a little advice. Yep. Covered that. Covered that. Covered that. So we got silver almost at the BBC. Gold's approaching the BBC. Crude's well below. Euro, step line crossed. You know where that's headed. Now, if you're new, you might wonder, well, if you're convinced price is going to go back to the BBC now that the step line is crossed, why not trade this space? Because that would be a counter trend trade. Now, there's nothing wrong with counter trend trades. However, in the Logic 247 channel, where there's over 15,700 individual handcrafted alerts, every one is a trend trade as defined by the 30-minute chart, price, and the BBC. On the 30-minute chart, if price is above the BBC, then only long alerts will be issued. If price is below the 30-minute BBC, only short alerts issued. That's what I mean when I say a trend trade. Now, once you are consistently profitable trading with the trend, if you choose to venture into the world of counter trend trading, it's your trading business. You're welcome to do that. But the reason I don't put counter trend trades in the Logic 247 channel, the other 15,700 individual alerts, is because they don't have the same high probability, low risk as a trend trade. I'm sure you've tried swimming upstream and you've floated downstream. When I'm teaching someone new how to trade, I want to make it as simple as possible, and I want to give them the highest probability, lowest risk opportunities that I can. That's why I only find trend trades in the Logic 247 channel. Okay? So could an experienced trader trade this? Sure. But again, not the same high probability, not the same risk. All right. We're right. We should be. Yep. Just did it. 48.35. Yesterday was 34.5. Today we've hit 35. Okay. So from the high of the session, we have 5 more points to hit that 50% fib extension. And that just might be the point where price starts its path back to the BBC. To become a lifetime member, go to mytradingiq.com. If you have questions, call 949-42-EMINI or email support@cfrn.net. Now, the passport is your all-access pass to everything we do, everything we've ever done, and whatever we do in the future. There are no recurring fees. You pay once and enjoy lifetime membership. No upsells. No new discoveries to buy. None of that garbage that all of us have dealt with. We decided to create a place, Michael and I long ago, that everything we found distasteful in all the other places that we ventured into, that we were going to build a place that didn't have any of that stuff. And by the grace of God, here we are. I'll say it again. Lifetime membership, no recurring fees, no upsells, no nonsense. Around-the-clock support via Telegram. 9 out of 10 new traders fail because they don't have someone to teach them how to do the job. If you want a fighting chance at becoming the 1 out of 10, you're going to have a teacher. Now, you might think, well, I've got these books, and I bought all these videos, and I bought all these indicators and these oscillators. Where's the teacher? Oh, he's on the video. Oh. And how do you ask him a question? When he shows you something in a video that you don't really understand, how do you ask him a question? You don't. That's why our live training room is an interactive environment. Sometimes new people are shy to ask a question because they don't want to interrupt the flow. No, please ask every question that crosses your mind so that you get the answer. I mean, our methodology and strategy is incredibly simple. You'll run out of questions pretty quickly. There's only so many questions you can ask, and there's no question you can ask that hasn't already been asked. And the answer you get will be the same answer that the other person, or the other 100 people, or 1,000 people that ask it. It's the same answer. It doesn't change. Okay? Along with 2 hours and 15 minutes of interactive group training every trading day. You also have access to unlimited one-on-one private mentoring. The strategy that you learn, the indicators you own for life as a passport holder, are fluid across all markets and all time frames. So whether you like to trade futures, stocks, crypto, forex, or ETFs, our strategy and our indicators will work for you. As a passport holder, you'll receive the Logic 247 alerts around the clock. You'll receive the concierge trade alerts every evening, the second they're posted. And you'll be able to attend the members only workshop on Thursday night. Tomorrow night's Thursday night, but tomorrow night we will not be having a members only workshop. Giving everybody the night off. And then we'll be here Friday for Friday's session. And of course, next Monday we'll be closed for the holiday. And then by next Tuesday, things should kind of get back to normal. Whatever the new normal is these days. Bottom line, everything a trader needs, all under one roof, one low price. Go here to get it. mytradingiq.com. Now, if your goal is to trade for a living, okay, talk to your accountant because I cannot give you tax advice. Talk to your accountant and say, hey, I want to sign up for this course, this lifetime membership, because I want to learn how to trade. In my personal situation, would that be tax deductible as a business or educational expense? And the answer will be different for different people based upon their situation. So you got to talk to your accountant, your CPA, but the year's running out, okay? So if you should make that call today just to find out. So if your accountant goes, well, yeah, that would be a write-off for you. So you can either give them money to the government so they can send it. Well, you know where they send it. Oh, me. You know, or you can invest in your future. And if your accountant says that it is a legitimate expense for you, you're getting an education at no cost. I'd be on the phone with my accountant right now. But hey, you do what's right for you. Let's wrap it up and get out of here with our good word for the day. Yesterday we talked about putting the other guy first. Today, learn to disagree agreeably. Colossians 3:12. Clothe yourselves with tender-hearted mercy, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. John Gray wrote the best-selling book, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. His underlying thesis is this: in order to get along with someone, you have to try and see life from their perspective. And that's not easy. Paul writes, clothe yourselves with tender-hearted mercy, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Make allowance for each other's faults, and forgive anyone who offends you. Remember, the Lord forgave you, so you must forgive others. Above all, clothe yourselves with love, which binds us all together in perfect harmony. And let the peace that comes from Christ rule in your hearts. That's Colossians 3:12 through 15. People who expect others to conform to their thoughts and actions are usually concealing their own insecurities. They have a deep-seated need to have their views and actions confirmed by the behavior and thoughts of others. But that's not how life works. Disagreements happen in any relationship where more than one person is involved. We are all unique, and we are not likely to agree on everything. But the way we approach our disagreements can determine whether our relationship makes it to the finish line. Fighting fair and opening yourself to the ideas of others and to new ways of doing things is how you grow. And who knows? In the end, you may even agree to disagree. The important thing is to respect the other person's ideas and seek to create an environment where the two of you can feel free to express your feelings and be who you really are without fear of being judged. And that's our good word for today. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whoever you are, wherever you are, may God continue richly bless you, His mercy, and with His grace. And I'll see you at the bell.
Remember this, there is no greater return on investment than to see a human life changed and given hope. As always, pray hard and trade safe. Any financial information discussed on this show is simply the opinion of our host, Dwayne Reeves, his co-hosts, and guests. To learn more about trading E-mini futures or to take a 1-week free trial in our live trading room, call 1-866-928-3310. 866-928-3310. Information discussed on this radio program should not be construed as a recommendation to buy or sell any security. Always do your own due diligence and consult with a licensed securities broker or financial planner before making any investment decision.